say with me the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, post the colors.
Now please join us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner. Color guard dismissed.
Okay, you may be seated. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. This is quite a turnout. I'm Melinda Lansfeld, principal at Afton-Lakeland Elementary. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of our honored guests today. We thank you for being a part of our Veterans Day program at Afton-Lakeland Elementary School. Okay, students, if a member of your family or relative is a veteran or service member, please raise your hand and keep it up. If you know a veteran or a service member, please raise your hand and keep it up. Look around. So many of us know at least one veteran. Thank you. What is a veteran? A veteran is a person that is willing to sacrifice just about everything so that you, me, and all other Americans can enjoy the liberties and freedoms we live with each and every day. There are more than 18 million veterans in the U.S. today. There are more than 370,000 veterans in our state of Minnesota. These men and women may be members of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or the Coast Guard. They possess qualities of courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and integrity. Veterans are ordinary people that respond in extraordinary ways. They have been called to be part of something bigger than themselves. So why do we celebrate Veterans Day? To say thank you to all the veterans for all they have done for each and every one of us. We can thank a veteran or service member any day, and we should. However, because they have given so much, we have a very special day, Veterans Day, for everyone to say thank you at the same time. We also need to remember to say thank you to the families of our veterans and service members. They give up so much so that their father, mother, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, neighbor, or friend can serve our country. So now together, each and every one of you, let's say thank you to our veterans and service members. Ready? Thank you. Oh, we can do better than that. Here we go. Thank you.
Has long held a historical significance to the United States. Today we celebrate as a federal and state holiday called Veterans Day, but it was first incorporated under a different name. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, an armistice was signed to end fighting between the Allied nations and Germany. A year later, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th as Armistice Day to honor all veterans who served in World War I. People believed this was the war to end all wars, and countries all around the world celebrated lasting peace. In 1954, after both World War II and the Korean War, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day to honor veterans of all wars. Each year, on November 11th, a national ceremony takes place at the Memorial Amphitheater in Arlington National Cemetery. At 11 a.m., a color guard, representative of all branches of the military, executes present arms at the Tomb of the Unknowns. The ceremony continues with the laying of the presidential wreath and the playing of taps. Several veteran service organizations participate in the parade of flags. Veterans Day stands as a day of celebration and remembrance. It is a day for Americans to honor both living and fallen service members for their patriotism and courage in times of war as well as peace. From Washington, I'm Petty Officer Liz Blahos.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be exploring the differences between the 5 branches of the U.S. military: the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. In total, the U.S. military is one of the world's largest, and today, this pool of recruits consists primarily of volunteers.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit, and I will never leave a fallen comrade.
The oldest and largest of the 5 military services, the U.S. Army is the country's primary force on the ground. With the motto, "This will defend," the Army was established to protect the U.S. and its interests by using troops, tanks, artillery, and more. The Continental Army was set up on June 14, 1775, and by 1784 it had been disbanded and was replaced by the United States Army. Broken into 3 components, today's active duty Army is supported by 2 reserve units, the Army Reserves and the National Guard. Recruits live by a set of core values that include loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Together, these values form the acronym LEADERSHIP. Established as the Continental Marines on November 10, 1775, the U.S. Marine Corps was originally created as a landing force for the Navy. By 1798, the modern Marine Corps was born, and the group specialized in obtaining and maintaining control of beachheads. More lightweight and mobile than the Army, Marines can be deployed quickly. This is one reason they have served in almost every military conflict in American history. Known for being the cream of the crop, the Marines train harder and longer than other branches, with a rigorous 12-week-long boot camp challenging them physically and mentally. Their motto, Semper Fidelis, or Always Faithful, is a testament to their fiercely loyal attitude. The Continental Congress established the Navy at the same time as they founded the Army in 1775. Today, the United States Navy is by far the largest in the world. Its primary job has always been to preserve the freedom of the seas and to guard the country against adversaries. During conflicts, the Navy enhances the power of the Air Force. The Navy deploys their aircraft carriers in areas where permanent landing strips are not viable and carries roughly 80 aircraft per carrier. They can also attack targets on land using guns and missiles, and use their submarines to strike at enemy shores. The Navy also aids the Marines by bringing them to the battle zones. The motto of the Navy is honor, courage, commitment, and these are the rules by which each member lives. Established in 1947, the Air Force is the youngest of the military branches. It was World War II that illustrated to the United States the importance of air power. Prior to that time, the main task of the Air Force was to support forces on the ground. Since then, they have been a separate service, with the motto, aim high, fly, fight, win. Therefore, as it is the Army's responsibility to protect the U.S. and its interests on the ground, the Air Force does the same in air and space. This includes the use of a variety of different aircraft as well as military satellites. Similar to the Army, the Air Force is enhanced by the Air Force Reserves and National Guard. Founded in 1790 as the Revenue Cutter Service, by 1915 the U.S. Coast Guard was formed. During times of peace, their primary task is the enforcement of both domestic and international laws, as well as boat safety and rescues. However, during wars, the Coast Guard can be operated as a service in the Department of the Navy. Comprised of boats, ships, aircraft, and coastal stations, they are sometimes supported by the Coast Guard Reserves and the Volunteer Coast Guard Auxiliary when necessary. Their motto, Semper Paratus, means always ready and refers to the high level of preparedness expected of the Coast Guard. Dating back even before the signing of the Declaration of Independence, the United States military is a sacred institution that has played a huge role in the history of both the U.S. and the world.
And it makes us what we are today, the best Army on the face of the earth.
Okay, now our students will present some Veterans Day songs, including the Armed Forces Medley. Veterans, please stand when your branch is called out during this song. This is how the students would like to honor our veterans today. Okay, thank you. Now we will have two selected veterans share some information about their branch's uniform. Our two veteran guest speakers are Nick Tamburo from the Air Force and Greg Young from the Navy. Give them a hand.
Hello. So you probably, from the video, you saw that we're the youngest of the branches. So a lot of, this is my dress. I'm still in the Air Force, which is why I'm wearing this. A lot of the uniforms from the older branches, they mean something. Colors, stripes, stuff. So our uniform is not necessarily that way. So when we separated, we wore the Army uniform because we were part of the Army. And we did that for a while and just wore Air Force stuff on it. And in some ways it's kind of similar, but this is our uniform. So on this uniform, I have my stripes on my sleeves because I am enlisted. So this is called a chevron, and I have a top rocker on my chevron, which means I'm a senior NCO. So I've been in for a long time. Right here, this is a badge. So this badge, you wear this not only on this uniform, you also wear it on your fatigues. This badge basically says what you do, so that people that know what that means can look at me and see what I do without me having to explain it to them. So I have an eagle holding a wrench and a bar with a star over it, which means I'm a 7-level maintainer, which is as high as you can get while actually performing on the plane. Once you get above that 9 levels, you're starting to be more of a command level job. So these are my ribbons. I have 18 ribbons. That's more than some and less than others. I've seen more. The different ribbons mean different things. Some things I earned myself, other things I earned because I was part of the campaign. So a brief rundown on what they are. We're starting from and going this way. I have the Air Force Achievement Medal, the Meritorious Unit Award. I've gotten it twice. The Air Force Outstanding Unit Award with Valor. I've received that 8 times. Air Force Reserve's Meritorious Service Medal. I've received it twice. National Defense. Everybody gets that enlists in a time of war. I have Afghanistan Campaign Medal twice. Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal twice. Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. Air Force Overseas Short Ribbon twice. Air Force Longevity Expeditionary Service Ribbon with gold border 3 times. Air Force Longevity Service Medal 4 times. Armed Forces Reserve Medal twice. Small Arms Expert. You'll only get that once. Air Force Training Ribbon. This is what you get for graduating boot camp. The NATO Medal, Non-Article 5 NATO, means that I was in Afghanistan with the joint forces from other countries. We all work together. I have Minnesota State Good Conduct twice. Minnesota State Service Medal, I received that twice. The X is at the bottom, and I've been in over 20 years. I'm approaching 21 years. And my son has my other shirt. Where is he? Benny? I don't know. Okay, maybe he's too.
He's right there. He's in the hallway.
Shy. There he is. Yeah. This is my normal uniform. We don't wear this all that often. So this is my normal uniform that we wear on our day-to-day stuff. This is the Airman Battle uniform. This is over now. This is the end of it. This is the last year that you'll ever see this. From now on, our uniform will look like the soldiers' uniforms back here. Which, when I started, this is what we all did. Everybody that needed to wear BDUs wore the same uniform, regardless of what branch you were in. It's just different as far as the tag over your heart. So it's starting to become more that way. We'll see how it goes in the years coming. Any other?
Good morning. My name's Greg Young. My two grandchildren here are Gavin and Stella Hall. Gavin, back there. Stella. You want to stand up, Stella and Gavin? Not all of you, just, there's Gavin and there's Stella. So last night at around 6:30, I was informed I was supposed to come and do this. So I had to pull out my uniforms, but I'm going to use a volunteer here that I just recruited, Bob. All of the military services are similar in some respects, in that, for example, the Navy, a ship, which we usually associate the Navy with, has to have all of the members that can do all of the things that people do in a city. For example, they have to have carpenters and electricians and everything that you need to have in a city to operate. Those are the different departments of the, or the different rates of the Navy. Mine was a boatswain mate, and those are shown underneath the eagle. When you become a petty officer, it's between the chevrons and the probe, not the eagle. Another interesting fact, I think, Bob, you want to stand up here for a second? I do. Unlike most pants or shorts that we wear that have zippers in them, the Navy uses, enlisted uses 13 buttons. So they come up both sides and then across. Each button represents one of the original colonies. I was going to say continent. Original colonies. They look like they're difficult to open and close. They are initially, but they become very easy after you get used to them. I was in the Navy from December. Yeah, thanks, Bob. I was in the Navy from December, just before you were born, December 1967 to 1973. So that's a little bit before you were born. And I appreciate all of you coming and saying thank you, and I say thank you, and we say thank you to all of you. Thanks.
Okay, this is very important. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor and remember our veterans, followed by the tap song. Thank you. All right, now we have some thank you letters from some of our students. And so where are my students that have those thank you letters? They're coming in now. Come on in.
My grandpa, Rick Adams, was in the Army. He couldn't be here today, but I wanted to recognize his service. Rick was 19 when he drafted into the Army during the Vietnam War in the year 1970. He was a conscientious objector. He believed in peace, not fighting. So he was chosen to be a medic to help the soldiers who were hurt. He served 1.5 years. He started out as a private, and by the time he got out, he was a Specialist 4. He worked as a medic in hospitals and clinics in San Francisco and Oakland, California. In the hospital, he helped the soldiers who were paraplegic, which means they had lost arms or legs during the Vietnam War. He also helped the soldiers who were hurt get better, and I'm very proud of my grandpa.
Dear veterans, thank you for all you did for us.
Thank you for protecting us.
Thank you for giving us freedom.
We're thankful for your bravery,
Strength and courage
to defend the USA.
Thank you, veterans, for protecting this wonderful country. Thank you, veterans.
From Lucy
And Michaela.
Dear veterans, thank you for fighting for us. We are very grateful that you decided to fight for our country. If it weren't for you, you would probably not be safe right now. Thank you for coming to our Veterans Day program. From Savannah.
Dear veterans, thank you so much for serving our country. You mean a lot to me. I am a military kid, and my dad is a veteran. He has been deployed 3 times. He has been to the desert, and he has served in many other countries. Thank you to all veterans who served in World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, Gulf War, and the War of Terror, and any other war I have missed. Thank you to those who served in all different branches: Navy, Marines, Army, Air Force, and the Coast Guard. Every branch is the best to me. Thank you all for your time and work to protect America on land, on sea, or in the air. I thank you all veterans. Sincerely, Vinny. Dear veterans, thank you for what you have done to keep us safe. We are all grateful for you. Thank you for putting yourself in danger for our safety. That is very brave of you. Thank you so much, from Marin.
Dear veterans, thank you for sacrificing your lives for us. We are so grateful for you. Thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you so much, from Anissa.
Dear veterans, thank you for coming. I am happy you chose to fight for our country. I am so happy you came to this program. I hope you like celebrating with your friends or family members. I love that you fight strong and hard. I love it when you help friends up, not down. I love it how confident you are. I love how you all fight for Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. I love how you fight for hours and hours for us. We are all proud of you. Thank you for making it to our school program. Thank you for all of this. Love, Layton.
Okay, now I need everybody to stand for our last song, America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, following the program, our special guests and their students and families are invited to share light refreshments and a chat in our cafeteria in our front hallway. All other students should return to their classes. Also, guests, please feel free to stop by our PTA-sponsored book fair in our media center that's going this entire week. And if you have time tonight, please join us for our PTA meeting at 6:30 p.m., also in our media center. We are looking for more parents and families to join and become involved. It's a great group of people that do some amazing things for our school and our students. Okay, I would like to give, in closing, a special thank you to Ms. Kayla Molnar and our students for their beautiful music. Thank you. Okay. Also, thank you to our custodians, Jerry Holger, James Talbot, and David Dressen for preparing the building for today's program. Thank you. And all of the Afton-Lakeland teachers, paras, and other staff members that helped to make this happen. And lastly, a big thank you to the Afton-Lakeland PTA for providing our refreshments. Okay, students, staff, and visitors, as you leave today, thank you for your attention as we honor our very special guests. And please remember, if you love your country, thank a vet. Can you say thank you? Okay, for our guests and families, please wait to leave until the retiring of the colors. And again, light refreshments are in the room in the cafeteria in our front hallway. Thank you. Let's wait for our colors to be retired.
Attention, will the audience please rise? Color guard, advance. Color guard, salute. Color guard, retire the colors. Hand salute. Two.
Thank you. Give them a hand. Okay, that concludes our Veterans Day program, so please look to your teachers for further direction. Thank you. You're a great audience today.